Yeah, it's definitely your clutch slipping. I just realized something. Red, green, blue. RGB, bro.
Oh, shit.
We're fucking Power Rangers. Whoops.
He did not mean to do that.
I tried to do it too. It looks so cool. I've never seen anyone do something so cool on accident. You turn around and you're like, gangsta. That is a good looking bike. I can though.
We are any color we want.
Did you just assume my color? Did you just assume my color?
Dan, don't. Dan.
You just assumed my color. He just assumed my color. Bye. Oh. Well, that was fun. See if it'll do third gear. It'll come up in third gear. Oh, this thing's crazy. What about fourth? It'll come up in fourth? Are you kidding me? Oh, dude, what a crazy bike. I haven't ridden my ZX-10 that much, guys. You'll have to forgive me. I've been practicing some other shit. I just can't believe the ZX-10 will come up in fourth with a clutch up. My CBR never was able to do that. What's going on, guys? Do it with Dan here. Back on the ZX-10. I haven't been riding it much because, well, at least not on camera. I've been riding it a little bit. Sometimes riding a bike and recording kind of just ruins the experience for me. So when I like to ride this bike, I usually turn the camera off. When I'm on Red Top, I haven't really ridden it up here that much. I'm also freezing fucking cold right now. This thing just fucking comes up. I don't know how I had trouble earlier trying to get this thing to wheelie. The thing can come up in any gear. Oh god, this thing's stupid. I just can't believe it'll come up in fourth. Oh, my tips are just freezing. I should have worn my winter gloves, but I didn't think about it. Oh man, I forgot how good this bike feels too. I don't know, man, it's been really funny. It's also been really cold lately, so I've been trying not to get out there too much and ride just because of how cold it's been. I got a lot of other projects I'm trying to focus on. One of the most consistent questions I get, and I thought I've talked about this before, but maybe I haven't really brought it up that much since it happened a couple years ago. People always ask what I do for a living. It's the weirdest question. And I kind of get it too. Like, I get why people ask, hey Dan, what do you do for a living? I want to pull over here, let my hands warm up for a second. They're freezing. Like, literally, I can't feel them. These bad boys warm up for a second and get some blood back in them before I go back out there and rip some more shit up. That's pretty nice too, if you know what I'm saying. Dick warmer. Yep. I'm back on the ZX-10, guys. I know you guys haven't seen very much of it. When I do ride it, I tend to not bring the camera just because I enjoy it so much. This thing actually kind of scares me a little bit. Maybe if I rev it up a little bit, it'll be warmer. Oh, that's way warmer. Yeah. Oh. No, that's better. So one of the weirdest questions I always get, and it makes sense because I kind of understand how the internet thinks. One of the strangest questions I always get is, Dan, what do you do for a living? I mean, and they see the shit that I do and the stuff that I own, and they're like, man, what do you do for a living? And the answer is really simple. It's incredibly stupid, actually. I do YouTube for a living. And I know that sounds like for a lot of people who don't know, you know, I quit my job back in I think 2014 or 2015. I think it's 2015. Yeah, I quit my job at AT&T in 2015 when, oh, great gas. I started doing YouTube back in December of 2013 because I got a GoPro for Christmas. That was what I asked for. It'd be like right when I was 20, got a GoPro for Christmas from my parents because they've always been my biggest supporters. Started doing YouTube, and for the first year, it kind of slowly grew. Then it kind of blew up overnight, and not overnight. Over the course of 2014, I really put in a lot of effort and work into my YouTube videos. And I decided to start monetizing, which is where you put ads on your videos, and that's how us YouTubers make money. The ads just started doing work, and next thing I knew, I was working at AT&T at the time after several different issues, is that I got a paycheck that was worth like I want to say 4 or 5 times of what I was working at AT&T from YouTube. Like, I got a check from YouTube that was like 4 times what I'd make in a month at AT&T. I was like, hey, so I'm not gonna be coming into work tomorrow or the next day or the next day after that, so you probably just, you know, go and take me off the roster, which was a huge gamble. It was a huge gamble, and I'll get into that in a minute. But YouTube is the only source of income that I have. That's including, you know, like t-shirts and keychains and stuff, stuff that I just happen to sell. Yeah, man, that's it. That's all I do for income. I mean, occasionally I will work with a company in exchange for a little bit of advertisement in a way that's not necessarily obvious, but in a way where it won't destroy my content, you know, where the advertisement won't rule over my content. I try to do it in a way where you guys are like, oh, okay, that's cool, and it doesn't affect my videos in any way. At least I try to. But basically, other than that, YouTube is my only source of income, and a lot of people find that to be absolutely crazy, right? That I just do YouTube for a living, especially people who are older than, I want to say, like 30 to 35. Like, their generations, you know, that wasn't a thing. Making money off the internet wasn't a fucking thing unless you were selling stuff on eBay or scamming people, or, you know, operating phone sex. I got the sweet smell of dead dinosaurs. So yeah, that's one of the most frequently asked questions that I get. It really is. Like, man, what does this guy do for a living, you know? And I also see a lot of comments that say like, oh yeah, well, YouTube must pay real well, or must be nice, you know, stuff like that. And part of me is like, you know, I should just kind of brush it off. But the other part of me is like, yeah, I should address it, you know? I usually have no problem in telling people what I make. I've got no issue. I live very comfortably. At least right now. I mean, there's no way this shit's gonna last forever, but for the moment, I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I've just been doing YouTube, and it does pay pretty well. Considering, you know, I don't have to wake up and go anywhere between 9 and 5. I don't have to, like, I don't want to say I don't have to do anything, because people don't understand the amount of work that goes into making content, or, you know, I guess uploading regularly. I almost want to call it a show, but I know that's not what it is. I don't have a TV show or anything like that, but I upload very regularly, and I try to keep people entertained. So yeah, it is a job, but at the same time, I've never taken it too seriously either. I've always tried really hard not to take YouTube too seriously. I enjoy what I do so much that I'm afraid the moment I start taking myself or it too seriously, it's gonna quit working. So I'm gonna continue operating YouTube the same way I would a hobby. Yeah, that's what I started out as. I didn't know that you could really make money off of it, at least not the way people do. And I know I just said that I have no problem telling people what I make, which is true. But I can't really discuss it either at the same time. YouTube's really funny about that type of shit. They don't want you talking about it in videos. It's actually part of like the agreement that goes with monetizing your ads and stuff like that. And like I said, I've got no problem discussing it with people face to face, you know, but on camera, it's not something that I want to risk. But I live well. I live comfortably. I do have nice things. I think people think I make more than what I do make just because of the things that I have. People like, he either has a lot of money or he manages his money well, and really neither are true. Even when I was, you know, a broke college kid, I always spent all my money on 2 things, right? There's 2 things that I never cheaped out on, or that was cars and motorcycles and dog food. Even when I was dirt poor, those are like the 2 things that I would like always put money into, was my vehicles and my dog. And I've got no shame in either one of those, because they both make me very happy. My dog is my best friend, and I enjoy cars and motorcycles way more than I do sleeping in a big house, if that makes sense. I would sleep in a cardboard box if it meant I had a nice car, you know? I just prefer to have a nice car. And it's not because I like to show off, it's not because I'm flashy. People think that's what it is, and it's just because it's what I like. I enjoy my vehicles. It's not even about having opulent material possessions. You know, I could have a big mansion, I guess. I don't know, if I manage my money better, maybe. I could have a really big house and a lot of really nice things, but I don't give a shit about that. I don't care about having a lot of really nice things. I just like having a nice car, and I like having nice toys. I enjoy tinkering, I enjoy building, I enjoy playing around. I just have fun. But I've really never given 2 shits about having a big house or having nice things, you know? Like, yeah, it'd be nice, but honestly, like a garage with a bed in it would probably suffice. I enjoy that, and I do like my computer setup too. Like, I spend a lot of time on the computer, specifically downloading porn. I'm just kidding. Who downloads porn anymore? Jesus Christ. someone mentioned the other day, I don't remember the name, I don't really remember the conversation, but they kind of were like, Dan's just turning into one of those channels where he just shows off what he has. No, that's not true. Anytime I do something with my bike or with my car, you guys are my biggest supporters. Usually you guys like what I do, so I'm always like, hey, I'll fucking put that on the YouTubes and make a video about it, because you guys tend to enjoy it. And I guess people get jealous every now and again, and I'm not saying that I have a whole lot. I guess comparatively to some of the people on YouTube, I don't, but I enjoy what I have, and I'm not ashamed of what I've made or what I've done. I enjoy it thoroughly. I'll never feel ashamed for having nice things. Like, why would I do that? Holy crap. If I liked boats and water, I'd be all over that probably. And that's another thing. I don't give a shit about boats either. I don't like boats. So I guess a lot of my times my content comes off as kind of like I'm all about me and, you know, whatever. I mean, you kind of have to be a little bit narcissistic to have your own YouTube channel anyway. But I just like bringing you guys along for whatever I do daily. Like, if I'm doing something cool, I want you guys to be a part of it. I like to show people, like, hey, dude, look at this cool shit, you know? Not everyone gets a chance to ride motorcycles. Not everyone gets a chance to go to Vegas and look at guns. Not everyone gets a chance to have a car that's nice, and not everyone... It's not about me, it's about us, you know, as a group. So I'm sorry if it comes off that like that I'm showing off sometimes. Like, it's not that at all. I just like being with you guys and, like, you know, you guys are like my family. Even when I was like kind of more broke, I was having fun and going around and hanging out and doing dickhead stuff with my stuff, you know, whether it was my little CBR 600 that could barely run on a daily basis, or if it was my car, my supercharged Corvette, either way. But I'll never be ashamed of doing well. Like, I'll never feel bad about it, which is ridiculous that some people feel like I should feel bad about having fun and doing cool things. I know that the true supporters get it, and maybe not everyone gets it, but doing YouTube has been the biggest blessing of my life. Just because it's so cool, man. I've got like 800-something thousand people who think I'm cool enough to hit the button and follow my YouTube videos, you know? That's something to be proud of, I feel like. Sure, I'm no PewDiePie millionaire, but dude, I have a shit ton of fun. And I like to bring you guys along with it. Red Top State and Mountain Park. Nice little 5 slow we got there. Oh, no, it's not even a 5.0, it's a V6, yay. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm happy with where I'm at, and I don't feel bad about it. And at this point, minus the Magna, which I don't really feel like talking about, I've done it all myself. So yeah, I've been doing YouTube now as a full-time job since I was 22, 22, somewhere around there. And I'm 23, about to be 24 now. I'm just having fun while I can. People are always like, what are you gonna do after YouTube? Or like, it's the weirdest thing when people that you know, like for instance from high school, ask you like, hey man, whenever I tell someone, they're like, it's always the same 3 reactions, right? It's always the same 3 kind of weird reactions that I get when I tell people what I do for a living. Especially if it's like someone from high school or something from way back in the day. If it's someone from high school specifically, you know, or you know, something like that, someone I haven't spoken to in a while, like some old family members or something, I always get the exact same reaction from everybody. It always goes like this. So what do you do? I hear you make videos. What's Dan? What Daniel? Danny? What? I hear you making YouTube videos? You do YouTube? You know, it's kind of like that, like weird, unfathomable. Like, what? How do you? The first question's always like, you kind of like condescending, you know, like you do YouTube videos, huh? Really? That's what you do? You know, like you make YouTube, like the video web. I'm like, say YouTube one more time, please. Say YouTube for me one more time. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. And it's always kind of like a condescending light art, like really, you know, you went to college, and that's what you do. You do YouTube videos. You went to college. And I'm like, well, yeah. That's always followed by like, you can make money off that? That's weird, you know? How does that work, you know? It's always kind of like, how does that work? And you kind of have to half-ass explain it to people. Well, you know, like, well, it's like, well, basically, you know, Google owns YouTube, and companies pay Google millions of dollars to run these ads on our videos, and in exchange, we get paid cents on the dollar, blah, 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 per view, you know? So you can actually make money, right? And you're like, yeah, I just said that's how that works, you know? Yes, you can make money off YouTube. And then they're like, well, how much do you make? And that's always, you could be, all right, let me put it this way. You could be a doctor of the most You could be a doctor of the most reputable firm in the world making millions of dollars. People would never ask you how much do you make. But for some reason, when you do something like YouTube, how much do you make? You know, and then you'll tell them like, hey, well, you know, I capitalized at this last year on top of this with this, and they're always like, what? Wow. You know, they're like, what? They're just kind of flabbergasted, you know, like what? You can make, I can't believe you can make money. How much did you make last year? Question mark, exclamation point. You know, and that's when the inevitable statement comes out. It doesn't matter who you're talking to. If they've never known about this ability to make money off of YouTube, the next statement will always be, well, you know, maybe I should start doing that. It never fails. And part of me wants to be like, well, no, you shouldn't, because you're boring as fuck. Part of me gets a little upset. It's like you have no idea. Like, you have no idea the amount of work and time and effort and mentality that goes into trying to like create good content on a daily basis. You have no idea like the level. People think it's just as like, you know, you ride motorcycles all day, I'm just gonna go out and ride a motorcycle all day. Like, they have no idea. They can't understand the type of work it goes into. Basically, you're like running your own shit. And part of me wants to be like, fuck you, no, you shouldn't. But the other part of me is like, you know what, yeah, you should at least give it a shot. So A, you should kind of feel what it's about and kind of get a better understanding. And on top of that, who knows, you might be fucking awesome at it. Like, a big part of me wants more and more YouTubers just create awesome content, because it's a non-competitive market. You know, it doesn't cost anything to watch my videos to watch someone else's videos. I didn't go into YouTube thinking I could make money. I had no idea it wasn't even a possibility at the time until someone told me about it. You know, I went into YouTube with the idea of it being a hobby and a rant, and you know, it was a way for me to have fun, and I still try to treat it like that. I still 100% try to treat it like that. I do my best not to think of it as a job. My goal is to make good content for you guys that you'll watch. And it just so happens that if I make good content that you guys enjoy, I get paid. So it's like an incentive for me to make sure I can pump out the best content for you guys, because in turn I get rewarded for it. Does that make sense? People who've never heard it explained to them like that before will call it money hungry. You're like, oh, you're just trying to get views and you're just trying to get money. And I'm like, well, if you get views, the money will follow, yeah. But you don't get consistent good views unless you make good, consistent content. That's just how that works. If you have a shitty TV show, like, that shit's gonna go bad and no one's gonna wanna watch it. You're not gonna make any money. And it kind of reflects. Like, if I start getting less views and I start making less money, then obviously my content isn't up to par. So my incentive is not only to entertain you guys, it's to also create better content. So not only do I get paid well, but I can continue doing this fun shit. If I start making shitty videos, no one's gonna wanna watch them. If nobody wants to watch them, I can't continue to do cool shit. So does that make sense? People don't look at it like they would a TV show. Obviously, a TV show's main goal is to create great content so it gets a lot of views. Of course that's its job. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a fucking TV show, right? If a show was absolute turd garbage, it wouldn't be on the air. And I apologize if it sounds like I'm ranting. This is just some thoughts that I've had built up in my head that I've wanted to get out. I'm not ranting, I'm not yelling at you guys, I'm not upset. This is just like, I'm on a tangent right now, and this is my tangent attitude. But I'm not upset, I'm not mad or anything like that. So just don't worry about that. But obviously, the purpose of a TV show is to get high ratings. It's to make it's to make a good show that everyone wants to watch and get high ratings, so you get money, so you can continue making good shows. And that's the same way with YouTube. If my ratings go down and my viewership drops, my money drops, which means I have less funding to make more videos. That's just how it works. And that's when you get into the whole, like, well, you know, people try to get away with clickbait. Here's the thing with clickbait. Clickbait doesn't pay nearly as well as good solid views. A good solid view will always pay better than clickbait. And that's, you know, that's view for view, because a good solid view will watch the whole video all the way through, which nets viewers more money. Like, if you have a 10-minute video that's all about clickbait and people watch like 2 minutes and like, this fucking stupid, and it gets 1 million views, and then you have a video that's got solid content, people really like it, they watch the whole video through, and it's got, you know, it's got the same amount of views, it's the same amount of time, that video is gonna pay way better. Viewer length is one of the biggest parts about how YouTubers get paid. And I kind of know that I'm part of this group that makes their videos 10 minutes if I can. And I'll make a video that's not 10 minutes if I can. If I can't squeeze out good content to 10 minutes, I won't upload it. But if I can, I'll push it to 10 minutes. One, because it's longer and people seem to enjoy longer videos. I think if you upload a video that's 5 minutes or less, people are just like, what the fuck is this? Don't feed me this garbage. I don't want this piece of celery. Where's that big juicy 20-minute steak that's sitting over there, you know? I don't want this 5-minute celery stick. I want that 20-minute big old steak sitting over there in my mouth. Nice and juicy in my jaws. Does that make sense too? You know? Like, people don't want like a nibble or a teaser. They want dinner and fucking mashed potatoes and gravy, and they want a 3-course meal. They don't want some 5-minute, you know, 2 chicken leg bullshit. They want a full basket of full juicy fucking drumsticks. That's why I always try to make sure that my content is as good as it can be for as long as the video can be. I try not to drag it out. If I make a video, I upload it. Like, I don't have any videos on reserve. Whenever I'm doing in life, you guys see it, you know, basically when it comes out. And I try to give you the biggest, fattest, juiciest steaks I can create. I try to be the fucking salt dude. He just is like, just put that little bit of, I feel like I'm on this weird tangent of stuff that you guys don't give a shit about, but it's important to me, so I want to let you guys know. It's just things that I've been thinking about. On top of, you know, what do I do for a living? I do YouTube for a living. Long story short, I do YouTube for a living. I've been doing it for a while now, and I have fun with it, but I try not to take myself too seriously. Here are my thoughts on it. It's important to me. It may not be important to you, but it's important to me, so I want to let you guys know that this is important to me. And I hope that kind of gives you some insight on like why I do certain things that I do and why other YouTubers kind of do things the way they do. It's not because we're money hungry. I mean, some of us might be. It's not because I'm money hungry. I live fine. You know, I don't need crazy paychecks. I don't need tons of money to have fun. I'm gonna have fun with what I got now, but if I have money, I'm gonna go spend it on cool stuff for you guys, or at least cool videos. When I said like, for instance, people thought that, you know, like when I was like, yeah, of course I wanted to supercharge my Corvette. That's a big deal to me. But the minute I mentioned it, that I was supercharging my Corvette, everyone's like, I can't wait to see it. And I'm like, that's cool that people enjoy the things that I do as much as I do. I have worked a lot of jobs in the short amount of time between the time I was 15 and the time that I was 22. I worked a lot of jobs. I worked a lot. I full-time student, full-time employee, working 40 to 60 hours a week depending on where I was at. I mean, anywhere between, you know, auto shop to like I worked in a bunch of different stuff. Believe it or not, you guys didn't see all that, but I did have several jobs, and this is by far the most stressful job that I've ever had, quote unquote, if it's a job, if you want to call it a job. And that's because it's never really like an off thing. You know, I'm never off of work. It's super stressful sometimes. Oh, my life is so hard as a YouTuber. Oh my god, I have to make videos and get paid a bunch and have fun. Oh my god, I hate it. Comparatively, my job at AT&T selling phones, I could do that now sitting on my head. That shit's easy. Because you have guidelines. You work a certain amount of hour, you get a certain amount of paycheck. Anyway, guys, I think that's all I really want to talk about. I'm done bitching for the day. Hope you guys have a good afternoon. See you in the next video. Remember to spay and neuter your cats.